What is going on, guys? Armand here. Welcome back to the Cracked Lens podcast. I'm here with Michael. Go ahead, plug it.
Michael with Cobalt Studios, Neos Photography, wedding photographer guy. I just take a lot of pictures, and so hi.
Yeah, all right. Episode 10. We made it.
Episode 10. Here we are. Yeah.
Here we are. It's been a lot of work.
Yeah, you've been doing the bulk of especially the aftermath stuff and getting it all put together. So thank you so much. It's been great.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say to that.
Yeah. It's just like everything, though, in photography. Just like just extra work in hopes to reach more people and grow yourself. But here we are, just like kicking it, doing it. And actually, we've been doing something. We were like, we should do that. And we did it. So
yeah. We'll see where the podcast goes.
I cannot wait till like the busier season is over, though, and then I'll have more time, and then we can hopefully have more ideas and things going on.
That's true.
We've both been busy boys. It's been pretty wild.
Yeah, I've been busy at the e-com studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been telling me those stories, and I don't know. It's a whole different world and all that I'm used to, and it sounds hectic as heck over there. So
it is, because you're shooting like, I'm not shooting this much, but
a team shooting product after
team,
product after product after
it's
product.
Like 1,000 products a week, which is crazy. I mean, we have like 4 brands in the studio.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of products, and it's all stuff for like the upcoming season.
Just rolling through constantly.
Yeah.
Winter season coming up. It's probably, like you said before, actually, they keep it cold in there.
Yeah, they do keep it cold in there because, you have these models coming in and you're dressing them like head to toe in like ski suits and
thick outfits. Yeah.
Yeah. And right now we're doing fall and winter of this year. And then soon we're going to be doing the spring clothes.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
So even your summertime work is cold.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's winter all year round for Armand.
Pretty much. I'm okay with that.
Right. All right. So today we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the challenges of photography. Maybe just keep it kind of loose, and we can share some stories.
Yeah, the challenges of photography.
Yeah.
So you can start.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, I have a laundry list of different like things and challenges that are faced. I'm feeling it right now today. I'm just feeling overwhelmed, and we talked about that a little bit before, just like being overwhelmed, feeling burnout. But like even today, I'm just like waking up like the podcast, and that's something you still got to go to and do. And right now it's like, I just want a day to do nothing, but we've been so busy. I just had a weekend I had a wedding out on the coast, which I actually want to talk about because I had some wild, fun stories that they were crazy, and it was a challenge, to be honest. But then, and then yesterday, just life and busyness, and even meeting up for like data transfers transcends into one thing. I came in to transfer music video files, and then we had a client and went to studio, and so of course I get caught up with other stuff, but I don't know, I think every little thing stacks up to be this one just like super immense challenge, or like the way as a photographer, it's not just about taking pictures, but like all the business end of it, or marketing, or all these like schemes you have to do to try to get yourself in front of new clients just to survive. Like that for me is the biggest challenge. So that's probably what I'll lean into as we continue this podcast right now. But in terms of shooting, I'll talk about challenges I face like out while I'm shooting as well. But I think the biggest challenge for me, hands down, is staying like organized and the business side of it, and trying to just like balance, there it is, that's the word. Would you say it's like work-life balance, or like just balance in general with the business? Both. That's a good question. So it's both. It's like I think the biggest thing that's affecting my life though is like the work-life balance, because I'm constantly stressed about work, and so is my partner, and especially when you work together and you live together. For us, it's like not everyone does that. A lot of people do, but not everyone, and that's like definitely its own beast when you're trying to balance work life while also working with the same person, because then your conversations are always one of the two of you is going to be stressing about something at all times, and that will lean into like work conversations at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, wake up, text 8 a.m, work, and so
you guys have only been together like 2 years, right?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And time is just flying.
That's still like a pretty new relationship.
Yeah. And we have a baby, 7 months old as of
Good
12th
job.
the other day. So
Nice.
it's a lot, for sure. But yeah, balancing, I'll talk about that more. What do you think your biggest challenges are with photography lifestyle?
I think there's a couple. Like the first one that just instantly comes to mind is keeping clients.
Yeah.
And that's not because I'm doing a bad job or I'm not on time or anything like that. Like all that stuff is like locked in. It's fine. All the clients love the work.
Yeah.
A lot of my clients are like corporate, like bigger companies and brands and stuff, right? And they tend to not keep people around super long.
Okay.
So it's like the market is changing, right?
Yeah.
And then, or they might get a new team in, or, whatever it might be. And your creative is always the first thing to go, when it comes to like budget cuts.
I've heard that time and time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like bigger companies are now just trying to do everything in-house, right? Instead of paying a freelancer like $2,000 a day or $1,000 a day, whatever, right?
Yeah.
They'll just try to get someone on a W-2 and just pay them $50 an hour.
Just change.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now instead of paying $2,000 a day, you're getting like $350 a day, right?
And so in the e-commerce world, like there's that experience that you have to share.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard that before as well. And then like in the wedding world, you see the same thing where these companies develop, for example, and they'll like hire a photographer for the
It's
day.
the worst.
And they'll hire everything out and they just sit in their hub and kind of like control it all. And they
Yeah.
collect money, but then they pay the creatives like nothing. But then they're really good at doing all the SEO or
Yeah.
getting in front of the couples, because that's their whole job. They facilitate that, and then they can undercut everything else.
Yeah, so they're charging like $4,000 and they're paying you like $1,000.
Exactly.
And then they're probably paying somebody in, some third world country like $100 or $200 to edit
Yeah.
like the whole wedding, and they're pocketing the difference.
Yeah, and this is already all in a very oversaturated world.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about before, with the barrier to entry is so low, like everyone's got a camera, so like all these things plug in together, and it rots the brain, honestly, thinking
It
about
really
it constantly.
does.
It's like, what am I gonna do? But honestly, the right clients are there. In the e-commerce world, there's not much you can do with these like big companies to change it, but I feel like there are creative pathways to get around it. And
Oh yeah, totally.
And it's cool too, like you were saying, we were talking on the phone yesterday and you said the stability of it. And I'm like, what is stability?
Yeah, so that's like the one huge plus side of this job and being on a W-2 is that like there is the stability aspect. So every month I can at least expect I'll be busy for a week.
Yeah, they're going to call
And-
you and say,
yeah.
we have work for you.
So at least I know the bills are getting paid, like the base bills, right?
Yeah.
I can survive.
And then the rest is hopefully some icing.
Then the rest is like, okay, now we're filling in the gaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the biggest issue I've had is just keeping clients. Usually they're around for a couple years and then they just want to switch things up, and then your job gets canceled or they get bought out by another company or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it gets annoying.
Finding the work is definitely the hardest part of being a creative in general. But
Yeah.
like as a photographer or videographer, like so many of the conversations that I hold with other photographers and videographers are just like camera centrics like that is like how to get work. How do you get work? How do I get work? And man, it's a lot. And social media it helps and it doesn't help. And
Yeah.
paid advertising, I do not understand. Like, I'm very, very bad at like paid advertising. Like Facebook campaigns and stuff have never really worked for me, and I've dumped a lot of money. Maybe I'm just really bad at
Facebook
it.
used to be
Facebook is
the spot.
Is
If
going
you were in it like 2013, 2014 doing those Facebook ads, you were reaching so many people because it was like an untapped market.
yeah,
But now
and everyone's just on there.
Yeah, now it's crazy saturated.
Yeah, I do not. And it could also be like I need to make more like enticing videos or something. I'm not the best at videos.
You know what?
Like,
Okay, so on the topic of advertising,
Yeah.
we're keeping this podcast a little loose today.
Yeah.
So I bought a phone case, right?
Okay.
It's not here yet. It's coming because I got a new iPhone coming. And from this this company called Carved, right? And I was getting their ads forever. And finally, I bought a different phone case, right? And I got the phone case, and it's a company I've been using for a long time. And I got it, and it was feeling a little like flimsy and cheap this year. And I was like, okay, the quality is slipping up. Maybe I need to look elsewhere. And Carved like the subliminal messages. I went to the website and I bought one.
Ayo.
Yeah.
They love to hear that.
But like they got me.
They did.
They did, because the phone case is like made out of like burled wood and like epoxy resin, and like it's totally cool.
Super pretty and amazing.
So yeah, and like it's coming. I can't wait to see it.
Nice.
But like maybe Instagram ads are the way to go because everybody's on it.
Dude, there are so many people on Instagram.
You just have to make like a really cool, flashy ad.
But it's so expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, dude. Like,
how much?
It adds up. So I don't know what Instagram is right now, but it's like the same. It's like any cost per click that's out there on the internet right now is like, I mean, it just, you put a budget in, say you could do like, I don't know, $50 a day or $100 a day,
Yeah.
and that you get like, we gave you 15 clicks and there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my experience at least. And I've had some cool ads, but I feel a little like depressed about the lack of response I've seen from the paid ads on social media that I've kind of backed off. But like, I don't know. I don't know if they've worked for me particularly. I think I've bought some like smaller items off there, and I'm sure their cost per clicks are lower. If you know what cost per click is, it's just like when they click it, that's when you pay the money. But anyone can click. So like Google does this, Instagram or Meta, like Meta does that. And so when you click it, like if you click the sponsored ad on Google, for example, someone might be paying like $4 or $5 right there on that click. $4 or $5 for you to click, and you're like, oh crap, I clicked the wrong link, or okay, I'm gonna go look at 40 other sites, and you're still paying that. Mm-hmm. Thumbtack, same way. You know what Thumbtack is?
Yeah.
Thumbtack is so unbelievably expensive, and it depends on the industry, but like you can pay like $10, $20, $30, $40 for to check, and then they're sending the same person that's looking for the same lead to like A through N service providers, and so you're just gambling. And
that sucks.
Oh, we won't need to go into the details. Anyways, marketing sucks ass.
Yeah, marketing is not fun.
And it takes time.
Some people like it though.
It's fun if that's all you do. If you have all the other things to do. I have 7 weddings to edit right now. Six weddings to edit right now.
That's crazy.
And I just want to do that, but I'm like, oh wait, but if I'm not doing marketing stuff, then I'm not booking a year later, and then when I get to a year later, I'm going to be shitting my jeans because I don't have enough clients. So balance. What do I do right now? What do I do today?
Yeah.
And so that's the thing.
That's tough.
Just staying organized and timely is always been a challenge of mine. I don't wake up very well. I'm a nocturnal human being. People don't want to receive their messages at 3 a.m. I send them anyways. Just respond when you can.
Yeah. I notice I'll wake up in the morning and you sent me a text at like 1:30.
I really am nocturnal. It's when everything is quiet. I am up super late. I'm really bad at mornings, but I have kids that go to school, so then I have to be home when they're home and my computer's here. So it's like balance. What do I do?
Yeah.
Stay here too long, work.
Yep.
But all right. So I'm trying to think of details and what to dive into, because it's like, what are the challenges? And my head is literally racing because there's so many different things.
You have a lot of challenges
that I face every day that it's so frustrating. But I'm going to pause for a second and just back up because I told you a little bit, but I wanted to say it again because it was so much fun in my brain. Mm-hmm. I'm very busy all the time.
Yeah, I noticed.
And a lot of it is kind of mundane at this point, a lot of editing and stuff, but weddings are always something new and exciting. And the other day I went out to Cape Lookout and there's no service, right? It's like SOS where I was, at least on my service provider. And so I couldn't call anyone or do anything. And I ended up going to the prep address, and they were like, forget these pictures, just go to the venue. Okay, I'm off to the venue. I look up the address, I go to the address. When I get there, it's like, it drops me in the middle of the street. It's like Cape Lookout Road or whatever, on the coast, Oregon coast, so beautiful out there. There's like dunes off to the left, right? So I'm like looking at these dunes and trying to watch my Google Maps, and then I'm like, okay, and we're here. And there's nothing on either side. It's just like this little road to nothing over here that has like an abandoned dumped boat, and then on the other side is just trees. And so I drive up and I'm like not seeing the address anywhere, and so I go back the other way, and then I find the numbers. They sent me 17,500 or whatever it was. I won't talk about the other numbers. I think that's like invasion of privacy to talk about someone's address. Anyways, I like get to the mailbox and I see the numbers, and there's a gate code I need. There's a gate. Cool. I found it. It's going to be down this road. I get up, get out of my car, hit the pin. No, not working. Try like 8 more times. This thing is not working. So I park my car, and I just like, I'm going to go find someone at the venue to help me get through this gate. And I jump the fence and I start walking, and there was 2 mailboxes with different numbers. So I look to the right and see the other number. Okay, so it's not that way. It's got to be this way. And then I just start like walking up this road, and it's covered in like grass and weeds, kind of overgrown in some spots. Yeah. And there's like little shacks and RVs and stuff. They look like they're in little like different sections, but they're all overgrown and dilapidated and covered in moss. And so I'm like, this is a little weird, but I have no service to call. I'm just gonna keep going because I'm sure this road will lead me to the venue. And so I kept going down the road, and then I see this other amazingly beautiful, like little, like blue building with all this glass. And I'm like, I didn't bring my camera. I locked it in the car, but I was like, oh, I want to photograph this. I love abandonment. And so I'm looking at this, and I just like wish I could have stayed a little longer. And then I keep going on the road, and it's just like dead end, nothing. And so now I'm panicking, like, okay, so first of all, I'm trespassing and the hills have eyes. And
I'd be freaking out.
Dude, so that's what this is the reason I'm bringing it up. It's like an unexpected challenge, right? So like you could just be working any job. It's ever changing, right? Mm-hmm. With photography, with like different kinds of sessions, you could end up at the wrong spot or just have issues with finding your clients or like whatever.
I hate that.
Like that's something else we'll talk about. But this one was just like, I'm like, I have a timeline, and about 30 minutes is when, you know, pictures are starting, and then I have to get all of them done before the ceremony starts because everything is sandwiched in this timeline. And so I'm like, I'm on the coast with no service, and it's probably like 10 to 20 minutes back just to call, just to come back. So I'm on like 5 to 10 minutes of find where I'm at.
Do you ever like Google Earth or Google Map, like where you're going, like a couple days before?
I have, yeah. I
Dude,
have.
That is me. If you send me to any address, I need to know.
For real?
Yeah, like I'm
cool.
Google Earthing it. Like I need to know everything. I need to know where to park, like the whole deal.
See, I'm so not like that. I will. I'm just like, sure, toss me in. Like with weddings and stuff too.
I'm like way over prepared for everything.
I'm so unbelievably underprepared at any given time
like so
ever.
Opposite.
I'm not a pre-planner. Like I think weddings train me to do that because I was given so many timelines that just were absolute, like thrown out the window. And I've been to 300 weddings about. So I tell people all the time, they're like, I'm so sorry, we're running late. And I'm like, you're not the first, you're not even the first 200. You're not, this is normal. If you were on time, I would think you're like a freak or a sociopath.
Yeah, so you got to be like, you got to be flexible.
Yeah,
with
and
your clients.
I've always had a little bit of a chaotic life. I'm a chaotic entity in general. Ask anyone that I know, I'm a shit show. But like, these are things that you face though at weddings. It's like there's always like chaos, or shoots in general, honestly.
Yeah.
You could have a studio shoot that's all pre-planned and everyone gets in and you have 2 hours, and then we're supposed to show up ready, and then people will do makeup for an hour, and then you're like, motherfucker, like I have 1 hour to do like 3 light setups, but there's all these people. Okay, let's go. I
think corporate is like as close to perfect as you could probably get.
What that feels like. You were telling me like everyone's got to get out at 5 or they're freaking out.
So,
I'm like, what?
Yeah, the e-com studio I'm at, it's like super 9 to 5, and like I've always worked in film production or, you know, these freelance jobs, whatever, right? And everything is like, okay, we get out when we get out, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it was coming up to like 5 o'clock, right? We had like 5-10 minutes left, and people were losing their minds. They're like, it's 5 o'clock. We need to get out of here. Like, let's finish this up. And I'm like, dude, what's going on here?
It's okay, guys.
And I'm like, guys, like, you just put in for the overtime. It's not a big deal. Like, you make a couple extra bucks. Like, come on.
like, I like extra money.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I'm like, I get it. You know, people might have like families to get to.
And
whatever.
they do, yeah.
But I'm like, 10 minutes isn't going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to finish the job. Like, you know, and I'm a digitech. I was there 40 extra minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was like almost a whole hour.
Yeah, well, you get an extra hour pay, so
Hell yeah.
do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like,
Hey, that's a bill.
that is. $50 is a good dinner too. It's a bill.
Yeah.
It really take you a long way. Like,
That's a lot of tacos.
it's a lot of tacos. You're not wrong.
That's how I see things now. Is like $50. That's like 50 tacos. But with inflation, maybe it's like 25 tacos.
Yeah, it's pretty bad out there. Like a French dip's
It
like
used to be
$14.
50 tacos.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Back in my day.
What's up a Dollar Tree? $1.25.
A Dollar Tree taco.
That way, tacos and Dollar Tree at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Well, hey, if you get your tacos at Dollar Tree, now it's like 35 tacos
Yeah.
for $50.
Yeah. No, but
Okay, so what are some of the struggles you face with shooting?
with shooting, like in particular. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Any genre.
any genre.
Okay, like what you usually shoot, like it could be like weddings, portraits,
Okay, weddings,
family sessions, whatever.
weddings. Because this is fresh in my head. All right, so like groups, I guess.
Yeah, groups
one
is
thing.
definitely the hardest.
Groups is hard because there's always at least a couple people in any given group that is like
They're just not
just
paying
people that are
attention.
not there.
They're
or
not
they're
there.
so like
Whatever.
nervous in front of the
Yeah.
camera. There's always someone, and that's fine. When it's like one or two people or even three people, it's easy to be like to work with someone. But when it's a group, it's really difficult to work with everyone at once.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, to me, at this point, it's not too overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
not like a huge challenge, but it's definitely one that was harder, like in the beginning, especially because
yeah.
now I am the one responsible for getting all this together in a timely manner, and someone is just not working with me. And then later, there's going to be, oh, is there any more pictures? Because so-and-so was, I'm like, yeah, so-and-so was doing such and such, and it was a pain in the ass. I can't say that, though. You got to, like, you have to figure it out.
Yeah, you just have to figure it out. See, I'm a little nervous because I actually have a corporate shoot coming up, October, November. And it's going to be, I think, like groups of like 10 and 7 and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the backdrop isn't that big, so I have to composite the backdrop.
Okay, that's exactly.
And then they hit me with a wild card. They're like, okay, so it's like team photos, right? They're like, okay, let's say somebody quits the team a month later. We need to remove them.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that.
Or like if there's a new team member, you got to reshoot it and add them in post.
Who's least likely to work here in a month? Can you please stand at the outer edges?
Exactly. I'm going to ask that question. I'm going to be like, guys, if you are considering quitting your job, just like stand at the end.
Everyone starts shuffling to the end.
Yes.
In this, like infinity loop. Like, oh, wait. So you're all planning on
So
leaving?
that's a new one, right? I was in the Zoom meeting and they asked that, and I was like, I don't know what to say to this.
Okay, so
I was just
shooting-
like, yes, sure, sounds good.
I'll do it. So I do the same thing sometimes. Okay, so I'll put it this way: shooting wise and like actually on the job, when you have the work and it's there in front of you, it's the unexpected. Like someone will ask for a request on the spot, and it's really hard to be like, no. You can say no if it's not something you do, but sometimes in my head, I'm like, I'll figure that out. Yeah. Yes, I got you. And then later I'm sitting at my computer like, why the fuck did I say I got you? Like, this is a lot of work. And so it's like respecting yourself too, because if that happens, like if it's some crazy image someone wants, like, can you edit like a dinosaur into the background or whatever?
Yeah.
And you're not like, no. If you can't do it, just say no. You should say no. But if you're doing composites, be like, yeah, but that's an extra charge because it's going to take you a lot of time, especially if it's hard for you, right?
So you know what my secret trick is?
What's up?
So if it's like some crazy retouching thing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to hire Paige to do it for me.
She's good.
She is good.
It's true. But see, then you got to factor that in so you can pay Paige, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Just say, hey, whatever your rate is, that's fine.
I think as someone with an ever-changing job style, of any kind, but in this world with photography, it's just those unexpected things that get thrown at you while you're shooting. Or like, dude, okay, here we go. Now I'm thinking back,
Yeah.
right? The first wedding I ever did, I said no to like 4 weddings or something, but I did not want to shoot weddings in the beginning. I was like, absolutely not with that responsibility. I already have a kid. Get that shit out of here. Like, I
Now
don't
you're
want
300 weddings later.
Yeah, right. But the first ever, there was this really sweet gay couple in Bakersfield, California, and these guys just like were like, we're on a budget, we're looking for someone, we found you. I was like, I don't have experience. They're like, perfect. Like, I don't care. We just want someone, and that if you can make it work with our budget. And so I was like,
It's like you don't know what you're doing. Sounds good.
you guys are nice. I'll do it. I'll do it. And so I did this wedding for $100. I don't like telling people in the community that because I really advocate for not jumping into shit that you don't have
If it's your
experience
first
for.
wedding, it's okay though, because it's like
These guys hit me up. They told me the whole story. They really didn't give a shit. I tried it out. Tried to be a second shooter first though, because I don't.
Yeah.
It was not fun, and I was panicking the whole time. But at the same time, it did transcend into my career, so I can't say much, can I? But anyways, I get to the venue, and it's an art museum.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
All the lights come off the wall and point back at the wall, and there is no other lighting. And I did not know Flash well at all. And I was like, and I have, F4 is like lowest, and so.
Yeah. Like the one that's on this table right now.
Yeah, literally exactly this lens. I've had this lens since then. This lens right here, 24 to 105 with f4 is what I was using to try to shoot this dark
Time to
art
upgrade.
gallery. Yeah, well, I put this lens in the bag. This is a different story. I put this lens in the bag for a long time until I got here. And now when I put the lights up, I brought back out that first lens. I use it all the time. I love it in here.
It's a versatile lens.
It's a wonderful. That's why it was the kit lens, with my 5D Mark II or 3 or whatever it was. I don't know.
I feel like indoors shooting with a 24 to 105 f4 is a little tough though.
It is. I only use it now, and I used to not like
Outdoors
these
is
shots.
fine.
Reception shots. I put. I didn't do this for a long time either. I used other flashes to light. That's some. Oh, okay. You could do cool reception shots with this, especially like bulb mode. If you just like blast a bunch of light and you can like bulb mode and twist the camera and make fun stuff. Looks like you're drunk and stuff. It's artsy stuff. But no, that I had to work on the fly, figure out how to do that lighting, and still to this day, there's like random challenges that get thrown in. People can be in the middle of this dance, and it could be like, say it's like 2 people that you've been wanting to interact the whole night because there's like a special connection with them, and now they're like doing this crazy dance on the floor, and you're like, finally, a great moment to capture. And you start shooting, and then someone can be like, I'm going to hit these lights. So it's all like, there goes those lights. Now you have this, and you have to know how to like change on the fly. So like those challenges, like technical challenges, and really it's just those things that teach you how to like get through that for the next one. Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, lock ourselves in a room with other photographers and just challenge each other all day? That's actually not a bad idea, but
Yeah, so I just shot an engagement party.
yeah.
And I wouldn't say it was challenging per se, but it was
How many people were there?
350.
350 is a huge event. Yeah.
That's a huge event.
You had 2 guys. So
But I was the only one doing video.
Okay.
Nick was doing photo.
Okay, I actually didn't know that. I thought you both did video, so I was confused up here.
So 350 people basically in a basketball court
Yeah.
shooting video.
How was the lighting in there?
It wasn't terrible.
Okay.
It was like decently lit.
Okay.
I was getting away with like 1200 ISO at a 2.8.
Okay, I feel like in sports facilities they do actually have some pretty decent lighting.
Yeah. But like as the day, was going on, sometimes I was at like 2500 or 4000 ISO.
So I'm so unbelievably grateful for like having the R5, for example, because I can actually crank my ISO up, and it's helped immensely in situations with low lighting compared to before when I was just like pulling my aperture down and hiding back and yeah.
But good thing I shoot Sony because there was no noise in that image.
Like, I'm gonna leave.
Just saying.
Sometimes I think about
I'm
if
a Canon hater.
restart all over.
You should. It would make your photography so much better.
I'm
and
not rich.
You would get all
If I
these
was
big
rich-
clients, no risk, no reward.
I'll just go phase 1 while I'm at it. How about that?
You might as well.
Fucking Leica, maybe, whatever.
Do it.
My Canon is fine. I love my Canon. I advocate for Canon.
Mistakes.
Sony's pretty cool though too. So you know.
I'd rather shoot Nikon than Canon because Nikon uses Sony sensors.
Nikon is actually pretty cool too. They're all great. Okay, it's not about the
They're all
equipment.
great except Canon.
It's not about the equipment. It's how you use it. All right. So, and I do really well with my Canon, mind you.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Anyways, so this was a cultural engagement session
Yeah.
that I obviously I didn't know anything about. I didn't even know this country existed, and I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but it was Eritrean.
I don't know.
Orishan.
Aretian. See,
Yeah.
I don't know my geography.
And they had all these like special traditions, like the couple was walking down the aisle and then they go into this big like circle dance thing. And then the couple is up there and people are like serving them food. And after that, there's like a cake cutting and that's like culturally important. And then there's more dancing. And then there was more dancing and so much dancing going on.
I love all the different like cultural weddings that I get to experience.
it's more
too.
interesting.
Like, I just did a Nepalese one recently, and that was
Yeah.
a whole different experience, and the vibe and the way they talk about the world and spirituality and like the ceremonies.
Way
are
more
different.
interesting than the American weddings.
The Western tradition weddings.
They're kind of boring, honestly.
Okay, I can say they're boring as shit because I've seen way too many of them.
Yeah.
But it's true, and we all know that. We just do it. And some people in other countries probably think theirs are a little maybe boring or overboard or whatever too.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's because we're from this country.
I
and
think that's what it is.
it's like, you know, in most U.S. weddings, it's like, you know, you have the ceremony,
Yeah.
right? You walk down the aisleway. The dad gives the daughter away if
Yep.
if dad's still in the picture.
Yeah.
And you know, then you got the guy, and he's like, "All right, you know, do the vows. I do. Okay, that's it. Then you go party."
Yeah.
It's a little boring.
The party part can be kind of fun.
The party. That's what everybody looks forward to. Is
It's-
the food and the party.
It's cool because I've seen a lot of people make it interesting in different ways.
Yeah.
Or like just like random little things. Like this last wedding I did, like it's different. They had like banana suits were a big part of their life. So like
What?
yeah, right. So you do like a first look, right? And their friend group has this like thing about banana suits. So when she's like walking out into this beautiful like coastal setting and she's like coming down through the trees and stuff, and then so there's like this big sandbank at the bottom, and then when you get past the sandbank you can look left and right and it's just like you see Cape Lookout and this beautiful Oregon coast and the clouds to the right, and then similar to the left just open beach. And when she like gets down there and turns to the right, he's fucking just like turning the way in his fucking banana suit. And he turns around later like with his.
Oh my
She's like,
God.
"Are you kidding me?" And she's like, "I wanted to bring my banana suit. I thought you wanted like." Anyways, but people.
Dude, it would have been great if all the groomsmen were like in banana suits.
I did
too.
grooms. All of them.
All
Literally.
of them
I'm not
had the
even
banana
kidding.
suits? No way.
Yeah, we did
would do
pictures. I was like laughing my ass off the whole time, and I
So
was like,
funny.
"What is happening right now?" Because I didn't know. They just started pulling out banana suits, and I was like, "What? Banana suits?" So people do change things up, right? We
Yeah.
did pictures where I said everyone in a banana suit except for the groom. And I was like, "You guys chase him to the woods like your worst fucking nightmare." And so they're like
That's
chasing
so
him.
funny.
And he like jumps over this log, and I was like, "Oh, dude, it's yeah." But people will switch things up and make it different. But at the
Yeah,
same
that's
time,
good.
most weddings you feel like there's like this way you got to go,
And
and
it's
get
like
through it
way
and do it.
stressful for everybody.
Yeah, but honestly, as a photographer too, like, especially if you're someone who attends a lot of events of any kind, but say like if you're a wedding photographer, find ways to help people switch it up, because
Yeah.
sometimes they're just doing what they think they're supposed to do or what grandma and grandpa have, they think they have to do this for grandma and grandpa. So
Mm-hmm.
you have creative control during parts of the day and play with it. So that's what I was trying to do, is like make it different or weird, because you think you have to be like prim and proper at a wedding, and I'm like, let's be fucking vulgar, let's be terrible, and they're like, yes, please, let's be crazy.
Yeah. So my one of my friends, she got married, and she was telling me she wanted to elope like on a glacier in Alaska.
So sick. What?
But instead, they did like a farm venue kind of thing. Or
Yeah.
it might have been like a vineyard or something.
Yeah.
Because grandma wanted to dance at the wedding.
So, oh man, I think
And I'm like, oh man, grandma could take a back seat on this one if it was me.
the coolest thing you can do, I
Sorry,
believe.
grandma.
I'll dance with you in private later date.
We can dance later.
I think the coolest thing, now that we're talking about weddings, but like some people will do like their own private ceremony kind of thing, like an elopement where they go and do that, and they'll just have a reception and a later date. And honestly, like if it was me, I'm not currently married. I've been married before.
Not yet.
I want to be married again. I'm just,
you hear that, Rose?
I see so many weddings. We talk about stuff like that. Like,
Or are you about to propose to me?
I could propose to you.
Oh.
We don't talk about it. I love you, Armand.
Love you too,
I just
Dad.
dropped that knee right now. Episode 10.
Episode 10,
Michael
this is
proposes
it.
to Armand.
That would be so funny.
I wish.
That's the plot twist.
You got too much hair for me.
Wait,
Wait, that's not to say Rose doesn't have hair. She has hair.
She has hair.
I'm in a corner. No, but like, I would love for that to happen. I've seen so many weddings though that honestly it's weird because I don't
You're
take
just like
it
over it.
Yeah, like it's not something I think about in my
But
own life.
it's different when it's yours.
It's true, but like
You're at the end of the aisle.
I talk to so many couples about the money aspect that it just like it's in my head because it's really expensive to have.
Just elope and then have a party after.
That's what I want. We're like, what do we?
So much more fun.
We could just like do an elopement thing, take some close friends, and then like just have a party at the studio later. The venues are expensive. Catering.
Do like a Mount Rainier elopement or something really, like a really cool location.
I'm gonna go out of country. I want to leave.
Yeah, you're gonna go to Iceland.
Just disappear for a while. I'm not telling no one.
Dude, you know I'm actually an ordained minister.
What's up, girl? Let's go.
Yeah.
Your beautiful voice, just like you are now married. You made me.
You are now married. Say I do.
It's good to know, actually. I like that.
I would literally never do it for anyone, only you.
Hey.
But like I just got it. I got the certificate as a meme.
As a meme?
As a meme.
I was like, wait, why did you get it?
I don't know. It was like $5, and I was like, sure, why not?
That's the best part. So many people have said it at ceremonies, like, by the power invested by the state of Oregon and the internet.
And the internet.
Like, you don't have to be a priest or something or a captain.
Yeah,
of a
you
ship.
don't.
You just literally go and spend like $5.
Yeah.
And now you can marry people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just marry people that don't want to get married. It's like a menace.
Yeah.
Nice. No, I would do something simple, but I think the one thing I would still hire is like I would want photographers, or I would ask friends if I could pay them for portions of days and literally just have my friends
Bunch of
different
different
styles.
photographers,
That would be the coolest.
That'd be cool.
That would be really fun. And then yeah,
It's like, guys, this is a workshop.
we're doing a workshop. They get there like, this feels like a wedding, and I'm like, no, it's a workshop.
No,
We're modeling. They're like, pretty fucking sure this is a wedding.
That would be so funny if you did that. Just like, oh, wedding workshop.
It's a dark hive. Like there's like
dark hive wedding.
Honestly, yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
That would be so funny.
Oh man. Okay, outside of weddings, because that'll take me down a train, obviously. Or, you like. There's challenges throughout every kind of session, all the time. You lifestyle.
There's always
sessions,
something.
Kids, dogs. You ever try to photograph pets? Like, I don't know. I would love to hear specifics. Like,
Would you rather photograph kids or animals? Because those are like, when you first get into photography, everybody says like, don't shoot those two things because it's the hardest.
it is. Ooh, dude. I vibe really well with kids. I've always been around kids.
You have kids.
I have kids. I've always been around kids. I have super dad mode just like built into me. So I'm really good at photographing kids.
Probably.
But I love pets too.
I'd probably go for the pet.
I'm saying
pet's a little more interesting.
Reptiles, actually.
I mean, reptiles are cool, but like most people are like Shoot me with my dog.
Kids. If it was for work, I would say it had to be kids.
Yeah.
I'm good at working with kids.
Man, I feel like the kids just don't listen, though.
Pets always put their asshole in your face, and they stare at their owner the whole time, and you're like, hey, puppy, look over here. And they give you that, like, I don't give a shit about you. You don't give me the treats. They give me the treats.
Kids don't really listen either sometimes. Remember when we were shooting the family session in here?
Yes, I do.
With all those people, and the kids were, like, losing their minds. Just running around.
I'm around kids all the time, so I don't think about that, I guess. But, like, it's true, though, yeah. Kids, like, it's hard. Sometimes we'll have events, and this isn't to talk smack. It's really hard to be a parent. But sometimes when we have, like, events where people will be coming in all day or something like that, like minis or something like that, and we're not using the psych wall, and then I'm over here talking to someone, and kids just let the parents will let their kids run free, and they're, like, trying to run up, literally like it's a half pipe on the wall.
Right, they're
like,
just trying to, like, Tony Hawk up that wall.
Please stop. Yeah, you're not Tony Hawk.
This is not a half pipe.
Yeah, get down or I will break your ankles, child. But yeah, like, everything. I would love to know if anyone has any, like, things they want to bring up or challenges they've faced that we could literally talk about, because I could think about any type of session, and there's, like, a bazillion things that could pop up while you're on the spot.
Yeah, that's
Shooting
true.
is not easy. It's not typically the same. Even in, like, e-commerce worlds, I'm sure you guys have just, like, random things pop. Like you were telling me,
we have interesting challenges.
yeah, like, oh, I know you just shot all that, but we're changing it. Is something you told me. Like, so you already did that.
So some of the challenges we have in e-com, which I'm, like, totally new to e-com. This is, like, the first time ever working on these kind of shoots.
Okay, yeah.
But some of the challenges we have is, more common than not, okay, we just don't have the product, we can't shoot it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, so my job as the Digitech is I'm kind of like the pipeline between the photographer, the stylist, and the art directors, right? Everybody comes to me to be like, you know, for, like, the organization.
Okay.
You know, like, what are we shooting? Are we okay to shoot? What's on this shot list? Blah, 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 all this stuff, right? And some of the other challenges are they'll just change the shot list on us.
Yeah.
And we're on a server, so I can just, like, really quick download the shot list. But sometimes they don't tell us, and it's like, how am I going to know? You know, so, like, that actually happened the other day when we were shooting, like, full body stuff.
Okay.
Right? And this was a huge, like, debacle because the photographer wasn't in the meeting when they announced all this stuff, so he didn't even know. Then when we got on set, it was, like, a huge surprise to us because we were also compositing all the shots. So, you know, we had a retoucher on set, we're sending stuff to him, and it just turned into, like, a mini nightmare, or, like, it sounded like a mini nightmare.
Dude,
like, the shot list changed on us, and we had already shot all this full body stuff we didn't know. So the first day, it was a 4-day shoot. First day, they just took out all the shots. They're like, okay, we're not going to do it. Then the next day, they updated the shot list again. They replaced it with something else. So here we are, we got to shoot 25 products in a day. And then on top of it, we have to do 5 reshoots. It was only 1 shot per, but it just becomes an organization nightmare.
Yeah.
Because I had already uploaded all the shots on the server. Now they're like, okay, go and replace it. And I'm, like, coordinating between photographer, the stylist, the art director, the retoucher. I'm, like, the person in the middle
when
of all of this.
Everyone has to come to you for stuff too, like whether you're doing e-com or whether you're doing weddings and everyone's looking at you, that stuff can get, like, really
so to, like, and this was, like, a new shoot that they haven't done before. They were kind of trying something new.
Yeah.
They have all these codes, so this was, like, the code plus. And I remember I was literally having a conversation with someone, and then the photographer starts talking to me, and then the stylist starts talking to me. They're like, Armand, do this, Armand, do this. And it's just, like, 3 people all at once. I was like, okay,
wait.
Hold up a minute, guys.
Yeah.
I'm only one person. We got to, like, chill out here.
Dude,
But we stayed organized. we got everything, didn't lose any shots.
Being organized is sometimes just like the hardest part, especially when you have
The whole job's organization.
yeah, it's like time and organization. And then, yeah, it's cool to have a production though and see that. And then they have at least one person that while they're throwing at you, you don't have to take the pictures and stuff too. I like that. I love that. Like,
Yeah.
but
here's the thing is that not every set gets a photographer and a digitech. Sometimes the photographer is also the digitech.
I was going to say, like,
I think those shoots look a little more chill though. There's like a lot less going on. It's usually just a photographer and a stylist and like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, just get these shots, call it a day.
sometimes the less people you have,
So much better.
like the easier it can be, just because there's less in your ear and less chaos and less different opinions. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I try to work alone as often as possible. Like, people have asked to come and assist and second at certain shoots, especially weddings, because people want that experience. And I've like neglected having people come with me just because I'm afraid of. It's like at home. Like, I love being home, but when I go home, there's like,
It's
say
crazy.
there's 3 kids and my partner and all these different things that have to be done, and things get really crazy, and then you start to like blank out a little bit. But when I can shoot alone or be alone, I'm very focused and on my stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of us probably feel the same. But like, staying organized in a production setting or staying organized with like extra people around is 10 times harder than just doing it
Yeah.
on your own. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gets a little sticky sometimes.
It's do you have any tips that you'd say, like, in your experiences, that you would give to anything we've talked about? Say with organization, like, how do you stay organized? Like, what do you do?
I feel like organization is a practiced skill.
Yeah, and everyone has their own way, right?
Everyone has their own way. I mean, photo digiteching is like kind of new to me still,
Yeah.
because I've always done it for video. I've been doing it for video for like 12 years.
Mhm.
So that's like not very new to me, but like the photo part of it, and every single photo studio has their own way of doing it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just roll up and be like, I'm going to do it my way. Like, they have like a predetermined way and they want you to do it exactly like that,
Yeah.
because everybody's already used to it.
Let me ask this. So this is something that actually I've tried to resolve for a while now, but ended up being a big problem. As I shot more and more and more, my files on my computer became really messy.
Yeah.
And so I like developed a system that's my own way of doing it, the way I name things. Like, I have a spreadsheet, it's listed, and then everything is in a corresponding place, but you have an area or like a hard drive where like the raws get thrown in case I have to go back.
Yeah.
And then that gets dumped somewhere else, but then you also have the editing files in one folder, and then I have my catalog. Like, there's all this stuff. Is there a certain way that you save things or do things, or do you just name like the folders after a client's name, or what?
So I do everything the same. So it starts with like the base folder, which is like whatever the project name is, right?
Okay.
So like, let's say it's
You're shooting a product for me, and it's camera lenses.
so I would say, okay, like let's say the base folder is camera lenses 2024, right?
Okay.
Or whatever you want to name it. So inside that folder, I would have, I was going to say like just raws and like that's it. But I think if you're doing it by product, and like let's say we're shooting with Capture One,
Okay.
you should do a separate folder for each product. That's usually how like most studios want to do it, is like each thing has its own separate folder.
That's how you can
Because they're
send it,
going
yeah.
based on the capture session.
Okay.
So they can literally just open up Capture One, it has its own folder, and it has like all the selects made, and they can just kick out files that way.
So I actually have never used Capture One, which sounds crazy,
Yeah,
especially, and I really should, especially given the studio.
Yeah.
Does it correspond with like your file folders on your computer?
So it creates its own files.
Okay.
So like you would have the capture file, or no, the Capture One project, and then you have like an output folder, a selects folder, and then a capture folder, right? So within the capture folder is all the different folders you make inside a Capture One. So like let's say you're shooting like a ton of products, right? Let's say you're shooting 20 products and they're all named different things. y- each folder in Capture One corresponds with that thing.
Okay. Okay.
And if you take it a step further, some e-com studios, they have like a specific program. I forgot what it's called. But like you're scanning like barcodes and it like automatically creates the folder.
I want to experience this kind
It's
of
a
studio.
lot.
My whole world is different. I literally just have.
It is way different than anything you're used to here.
I have like Adobe Bridge and my file folders, and
Yeah.
then I like drag a whole folder, import it into Lightroom, and then from there do Photoshop, and then save it back to Lightroom, and then export it. And like all.
See, the way I organize my own stuff is like a little bit less messy.
Yeah.
It's literally just like, okay, so I live in Oregon, I shoot landscapes. So every year it's just like Oregon, like 2024, right? And then raw, drone, video, finished, TIFFs,
Okay.
and then finished videos. And then everything just goes in their own folder and that's it. And then, if I shoot time lapses, it'll be like time lapse 1 and then like the description. And then you just put everything in there.
Yeah, I go out, so like landscapes I obviously don't do as often, but even
Yeah.
in that one, like I don't know where to put them, so I just kind of name like the place, and then if there's like whatever kind of footage in there, I have a subfolder. Like there
Yeah.
happens to be a GIF I made based on something, or
Yeah.
a video or whatever.
So there is actually a specific way you should
You've told me this before for copyright.
for copyright. So at least based on the copyright website and the kind of structure I have, you can actually name each file like something different, but it's easier if you just kind of just do it in sequence
Yeah.
for like a whole thing, right? So for me, it's just Oregon 2024.
Yeah.
So it'd be like Armand Noor dash Oregon dash 2024 dash 1, and then it goes down like 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
So when you're submitting it to the copyright website, you can just do it all in order.
See, this is why organization gets hard, because different things are different ways, right? And so I
Yeah.
started naming my files because I know where they are in the folder, and the folder I have an indicator to find it on my computer for when I need it, and then I like sort everything out. And I don't want to go keyword every picture because I literally just
No,
don't have time.
I would never.
So I don't want to like name them differently. I have to on my site with my best shots that I put up.
Yeah.
But when I name files, I literally name it for, like, if I'm going to put it on a blog, for example, I want it to already be pre-written to have like
Yeah.
SEO stuff. So I'll kind of write the general theme and I'll work the place in there, like,
See, I'm not getting like discovered by regular everyday people.
yeah.
Like I don't get bookings from like family sessions
And
and,
I do.
and
People-
portraits and stuff.
People will
So
find me through SEO because they're like, oh, I typed in spooky alternative something something and I found
Yeah.
you. And I'm like, that's because I've built that
Yeah.
into how I write my words on my site.
my SEO sucks.
Dude, well, I love SEO, but at the same time, I wish I had my file names written more of like that, like with the system.
Yeah.
Or like, because I wish I was doing the copyright stuff. The world doesn't make it easy to stay organized, obviously, but I feel like that's been a really big challenge that I've had in my own pathway. Like I go to look for older pictures and I
Yeah.
just can't find shit because there's so many pictures. And now
See,
it's like,
I'm paying like $32 a month just in case someone is like, hey, send me your website.
yeah,
But otherwise, like, not too many people see it.
yeah.
Even though I think my SEO is up to date.
Dude, let me look at it sometime. I'll
should.
go over with you or do a little audit because
Yeah.
I love SEO in a weird way. It's one of those things that I had to figure out because I'm a photographer and you have 50 things you have to figure out. But SEO for some reason was fun. And this is like kind of a secret I'll reveal, and that's cool because I love a challenge. So come on to the internet and challenge me with your SEO.
Yeah.
But I just go and look at my competitors' pages and like
Yeah,
where I want to
easy.
be. And you literally just, you can inspect their page and there's even keyword searchers. So you'd be like, okay, I found them through this. So you can find out how many times it says that word on a certain page, or do all these like things to dissect their site and then take it to yours and kind of find your own way to be like, all right, well, that's working for them. I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to go one time up with that word, one time down. And it's a weird, creepy game you have to play, but like, that was a challenge I faced before because I was not getting found. and marketing, obviously, like we talk about, and the cost of it is so rough that I was like, I need to work on SEO. And I took those steps and I worked on it, and now I've been growing in rank. I'm not number one. Our studio is, and it was before we got it, so I admit that, which is really humbling to have that position on that space. But photography-wise, like wedding photography, I think I just reached like the first page, but not at the top. And then with Neos photography, which is all my other stuff, there's so many different things worked into that, so it depends on what you write, but I don't think if you're just typing Portland photographer, it's popping up on the first page.
There's got to be so many people on that front page.
So many that have been there before I ever even moved here that it's like, yeah. And if someone's
Cemented
built
in.
into that, yeah, it gets pretty cemented in, and that's the thing, because there's pages I've inspected that are way up there on that page. Like, I'm not gonna drop names, but there's a wedding photographer that's been at the top since I moved here, and her site has not really changed much at all that I've noticed. So it's pretty locked in.
Yeah.
It's a weird world. It's a weird thing. But stuff like that, the unexpected, when you become a photographer, you're like, this is going to be great. It's going to be fun. I'm going to take pictures all the time. And I'm going to frolic in the flowers with my clients, and it's going to be fantastic. And then 99% of your time is like all this other weird shit you have to learn, like, what is SEO? Here we are.
So many random things I never thought I'd have to learn.
Yeah. And but yeah, I would seriously love to hear what other people's challenges are so we could talk on that too. Mine is definitely staying organized, and like you talked about, or I said balance, and you brought up work-life balance. I feel like with how busy I am, that's been a really rough challenge for me.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it was hard for you before you got the studio.
Yeah.
But now I bet you're wishing you could go back to that life.
It's really...
Life was simple before the studio.
Dude, honestly, I had a moment earlier today, actually before I came here, where I was like, some days I do feel done. Like, I'm really done. I love everything about having a studio and having community and all that. But like now we're in a weird part of the season. So like we started to rely on workshops to get by, because the overhead is very expensive. And so it's like, then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, people are not seeming too interested in workshops.
Yeah.
I think people are prepping for the holidays or
tough
whatever
one.
it may be. And so it's like, we put so much time into that it's like, maybe we have to back out of workshops for a little bit and focus on booking sessions, because it's a lot of time that's consumed by that.
I feel like maybe you just need to use the studio from a different angle.
That's what I'm going to do. And
instead of it being like, oh, come rent the studio, you should go to clients and be like, I have a studio.
Exactly. And that's what I'm planning to do. But like you always have to make these gear shifts constantly.
You constantly have to pivot in your career.
It's rough. And how are you supposed to balance when someone's throwing weights on either side of your block?
Can't.
Like
that's part of the fun, is that it's always changing.
Yeah, and it's like why you want to be a photographer, I hope, is because you want something ever changing.
Yeah.
But it catches up with you, and sometimes you just want to you kind of wish like, hey, can I take a week to just have a little stability? That'd be fantastic, because
that's what I got. I got the golden ticket.
You bitch, I know. Yeah, but how's the pay?
Not great, but if I actually work up to a photographer role, then it'll be...
And you will.
Then it'll all be chilling.
Yeah.
A little more stress, though, I think.
I think it'd be worth it, honestly.
100% it's worth it.
You get to be the photographer, get a little more pay.
Yeah. Then I can yell at my Digitech and be like, is it ready to shoot?
if there's any one challenge that you're facing in your career right now that you could overcome, what would it be?
Client acquisition.
Just
like staying busy enough, you know, because the month of August, I took on the new e-com client. They had me on hold for like the whole month. I worked 2 days.
That's rough.
That is rough.
It's really hard.
Then I had that engagement session. That was like 1 day. So I worked like 3 days in August.
Yeah.
But that's like part of the freelancer thing, is that some months you're crazy busy, or you get like one super high paying job.
Yeah.
Then the next month, you're kicking rocks.
Yeah. You're like, oh, if you could make 30 grand on a job, for example, and like think that, oh, I can get like this equipment or do something, but like in my head I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold on to this because these next few months could really, really suck.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it starts to dwindle away fast, or things catch up with you, man. But yeah, client acquisition, I hope you can resolve that one too, as we all do.
I feel like it's getting better as, time is going on. I don't know. I mean, I picked up 3 really big clients this year that I'm stoked on, and I think next year is going to be a pretty sweet year.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in September now. There's only 3 months left in the year, or 2.5 months, which is crazy.
It went by so fast.
It went by so fast.
Gross. It was too fast.
But yeah, a lot of the bigger like commercial corporate clients, they either like ramp up for the holiday season, or they like way slow down.
Wind down, yeah.
And I think 2 of them are starting to slow down. Like one of them, there's only like 1 shoot left for the year, so that kind of sucks. And I don't even know if I'm going to be on it.
Ooh. Oh, no.
And then the other one is kind of like a wild card. There could be more, there might not. But I think next year that one client is going to like blow up. And then this e-com thing is just literally all year round.
Nice.
So that's kind of like saving the day.
That's what I like about studios is the work can be all year round.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I hope you accomplish that goal though. And I hope that they blow up, all of them.
Yeah.
Just all that work comes
for real. And, you always need to be finding new clients, right?
Yeah.
Like, I had a mentor, he's like 72, he's dead now, but he basically told me the grind never stops. He's like, I'm 72, I've been in the industry for 40 years, and I still have to find new clients all the time.
Dude, so that's a problem that I faced probably for the first time ever though too, where it was the same, because in my head it's like never, ever, ever stop. If someone calls, you say, I got you. Yes, I'm there.
Always yes.
I'm gonna try to be the first to call whenever I can. I do my absolute best. I struggle with response time sometimes just because I'm pretty unplugged. So that's something that I'm trying to like constantly fix and change too. But I'm really good when I talk to my clients. And so I book almost everything that comes my way.
Yeah, same. Like if you can get somebody on the phone, that's like an instant book.
If I get someone on the phone, I almost always book just because I'm very myself and I think that resonates. And so.
You know what I hate is when a client is like, oh, this is a potential shoot. Or like, oh, we're shopping around, or this is a maybe, right? It's like things like that.
Yeah.
And then you get on the Zoom call and you're like, dude, I already got this in the bag. They're just saying that like in case they just like totally hate you.
Yeah. It's true though. Like I basically at this point, you can tell when someone's going to book you. So like 5 minutes into a call, I just start talking about the plan of the day. Like on a wedding, I'm like, okay, so this is how we're going to do it. And they're just like at the end, okay, so I send you the deposit. I'm like, yeah, this is how we'll do it. I'll send you an email with all that BS, but I'm happy to work with you. And it's just like
easy
done.
Yeah.
But the thing that I faced this year was, I have so much that's just happening that I'm overwhelmed, and I'm getting through it, but there's a part of me that's like, man, should I have like slowed down a little bit? And now I'm getting through that. I might get the tail end of all of that, but
I think it's not so much about like that, but it's figuring out how to optimize it.
Yeah, how to balance and figure out what to do to get around.
If you have like a streamlined process, and if you can find ways to like make things faster or take things off your plate and job them out, that'll make worlds of difference.
So what I'm doing right now is trying to figure out how to job out, because I've always been pretty solo, with the exception of my partner who does a lot of the help with emailing and things like that. But like for example, with all the weddings I have to edit, I'm not past any deadlines right now, thankfully. Yeah. But I'm like, I literally have to end this and start editing, or I'm gonna start getting to that point. And I also have to be with my son, He's out of school. He's with Rose now. Yeah. So his chores are going to be done, and then I'm going to want to be back there. And I have if I go edit a wedding, the next one is 600 pictures to edit. Yeah. That's going to take me.
AI.
I tried for like 2 weddings, and then I ended up like kind of redoing most of them. I hated it.
Oh man.
Anyways.
Maybe the key is like picking the selects yourself and then just like sending them through a program.
Rose keeps saying that a really good thing, and as a model, she gets lots of galleries from like photographers, and what a lot of people will do is they send her downsized versions for her to pick her favorites. And so you can do that and get rid of that culling time and then just do the editing. And literally it takes it's equal amount of time for me to cull because it's the decisiveness factor of it. I'm looking, and then I end up picking ones that I probably didn't need to pick because I want clients to have that memory or whatever if it's like an event.
Yeah.
And probably then wasting my time with edits, whereas I could have sent the gallery, let them cull it, said, we love these ones, please edit these. I think the reason I don't do that is because
There's too much back and forth.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's still an extra step, kind of, but you don't have to cull. But then I don't want them to see all the just random ones because they're going to see their dumb faces and stuff, like, because we all do that when I'm just shooting away. And that's what I'm culling out. Or they might start making weird requests. Like, I like this picture, but, and then I'm going to be like, oh, no.
It just leaves too much room for error.
Exactly. But what do? You know?
Yeah, tough one.
Could literally talk all day about the challenges we face.
Totally.
I would really love, again, if anyone has any challenges they've faced, or they want to ask us about certain events or certain things that have happened, or how we've gotten through certain things. I've seen so many different situations, and I love to talk about it. Shoot a DM or drop a comment, and be really happy to share any experiences that I've had. Armand, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I think we're going to wrap it up there.
yeah, man.
All right. 10 episodes, we did it.
We did 10. We did 10.
We got through it.
We still want to do a community one sometime soon, but I got to get through this busy
eventually. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching or listening.
Yeah.
Yep. Find us everywhere where you can find podcasts: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
Rate us 5 stars, like the videos, all the good stuff.
All those things.
All those things. We'll see you all very soon.
Thanks again. See you next time.